Hello, my messies. It's me, Rose Messy, back with another messy video. So help me God. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, share. Leave a comment down below and ring that notification bell so you know every time I drop a messy video. Again, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year for those of you that I'm just speaking to, and those that are returning back, welcome back. Okay, another serious epidemic is going on across the United States and throughout the world. Abandoned babies. Just lately, a few days ago, a young mom in the Bronx put her baby in a shopping bag and left it inside the foyer of an apartment building. I will be dropping that video down below from report on how they found the baby, thank God. And I have included other clips of several mothers abandoning their children, park benches, dumpsters, and things of that nature, okay? To let you know there is a growing epidemic, or has always been an epidemic, but we just don't hear much about it because it is such a touchy subject. Now, supposedly in all 50 states, there is safe havens, McDonald's, fire stations, police stations, different places where you can leave your children. And it allows the parents to anonymously relinquish newborns at hospitals, fire stations, police departments, and other designated locations without facing criminal prosecution. Yet dozens of babies are still found in trash cans and dumpsters, along public roads every year, leading advocates to consider additional measures. While more than 3,500 newborns have been surrendered through safe haven laws nationwide since the first measure took effect in Texas in 1999, more than 1,400 have been found abandoned since then as well, according to the National Safe Haven Alliance. So it looks like that law is still not helping some mothers do the correct surrendering, For some reason, they're still, excuse me, I have a cold. I do apologize. For some reason, they are still abandoning the children, and they're not leaving them at the safe havens like your McDonald's, or some states have those, you pull out, it's like a little box, and you open that box up and you can safely put the baby in. So some states even have those. And some of the young women are not utilizing even those types of relinquished stations, okay? And the article goes on to say that, yet dozens of babies are still found in trash cans, dumpsters along public roads every year, leading advocates to consider additional measures. Now, while more than 3,500 newborns have been surrendered, again, through safe haven laws nationwide, since the first measure took effect in Texas in 1999, still more than 14,000 have been found abandoned since then as well. Now, according to the National Safe Haven Alliance, of the 1,419 illegally abandoned infants tallied by the organization as of July 2nd of 2024, only a third have been found alive. Okay, so that's the growing issue. Abandonments are happening everywhere, but people are not aware of it because it's not happening in their backyard. Advocates say many people still don't know about the safe haven options. A lack of public funding attached to such laws helped them win approval nationwide, but it's also made it challenging to inform people about the laws and sanction locations where they can surrender the children. There's also a deepening rift within the safe haven movement over how best to address infant abandonment, even as critics say the existing laws don't do enough to support the people who have utilized them, typically assumed to be young mothers who lack the resources or support to raise unattended or unwanted babies. It's horrific, the places that unsafely abandoned babies are left, and the idea of helpless newborns being left was equally distressing to think about a woman or a girl being in a situation where she doesn't have social support during pregnancy or childbirth. And that's the issue. Yes, they've created the safe havens, the baby boxes, your McDonald's, your fire departments, and things of that nature. But what about the psyche of the young mother, her emotional health, her mental health of having the baby at a young age, whether it was consent, full, could have been some type of abuse, or it could be economic status, as I said, financially. And then she has the baby and she feels she needs to abandon abandon the child or relinquish the child over, even if they do it the proper way, they feel like still, what kind of mental health or assistance are we giving the young mothers that do have to do that, even if they do it correctly? They still need some type of counseling or some type of assistance to get their lives back together, even though they may have did it, illegally or legally. And it is a growing epidemic, and it's silence. It's a silent epidemic because we don't know what to do. There's a growing epidemic because of uh, the abortion laws as well. Some of the lawmakers are complaining about those that are pro-life against those that have want choices. They said that is causing the alarming abandonment rate. All different types of issues surrounding this can be associated with the high abandonment rate. What are we going to do about it? Our lawmakers do need to implement something for these young mothers to help them, because even with the relinquishing stations and the baby boxes and things, still there's too high of a number for abandoned babies that are being abandoned illegally. Some of them are not finding them alive. That's the horrible thing about it. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to insert the clips of the latest incident where the mother in the Bronx left the child at the apartment foyer. And then I'm going to insert some other ones from last year throughout the United States. And I think I have a couple from the UK as well. And then I'll come back and end the video. Again, prayers for these babies, prayers for these young mothers. What can we do as people, as tax-paying citizens, to help assist with this law, to extend it beyond just a relinquishing station? They do need other resources, okay? So let's take a look at this video and I'll be back.
Developing story now. A newborn baby girl is at the hospital tonight after being found outdoors in a shopping bag. Someone abandoned the infant in front of a home in the Morrisania section of the Bronx. The man who lives there was at his mosque when he got a phone call. It was from a friend who had passed by and heard the baby crying. The resident ran home where he found the baby wrapped in a blanket inside the bag.
I called 911. It was cold. I took the baby inside. I didn't want to mess up with any evidence, but it was too cold. I have to take the baby from outside. It's amazing. I never thought something like this would happen in my life, but it's life.
They don't got no morals. Like, why would you do that to a newborn baby?
The baby is in stable condition. The home is next to a nonprofit organization that provides a variety of family services. New tonight in Brooklyn, police are guarding a
search for the person who had abandoned a little tiny baby, newborn, in the Bronx. Police have now released video of a person they would like to talk to after the newborn baby girl was found outdoors on a doorstop in a shopping bag. Thankfully, she is alive. This happened around 6 o'clock yesterday morning. Someone abandoned the crying infant in front of a home on Reverend James A. Polite Avenue in the Morrisania section. The man who lives there was at his mosque when he got a phone call. It was from a friend who was going by, heard that baby crying. The man ran home where he found the baby wrapped in a blanket in the bag.
I called 911. It was cold. I took the baby inside. I didn't want to mess up with any evidence, but it was too cold. I have to take the baby from outside. It's amazing. I never thought something like this would happen in my life, but it's life.
They don't got no morals. Like, why would you do that to a newborn baby?
The newborn baby girl is in stable condition and being cared for. The home is next to a nonprofit organization that provides a variety of family services. Perhaps the thought was to leave the baby with that nonprofit. Police have arrested the mother of that baby who was abandoned in the Bronx early Sunday morning. The baby is fine, in good care. 26-year-old Delphina Galfez is behind bars, faces charges including reckless endangerment and abandonment of a child. Police say she left a baby girl outside of a home in a tote bag in the Morrisania section. The person who lives there on Reverend James A. Polite Avenue discovered the baby after he got a call from a friend about a baby crying outside. The newborn was taken to an area hospital, is stable. Reminder, please, everyone, the safe haven law allows a parent anonymously and legally to leave a newborn with someone, a human, at a hospital, police, or fire department.
I think that's so important to characterize, because I think when that law happened, a lot of people talked about it, but since then,
yes,
a lot of people don't.
Gotta remind you.
Man found an abandoned baby on a bench. When the doctor saw it, he immediately understood why. It was a cold winter day when Dimitri Keller was returning home from work and suddenly heard a crying baby in the distance. At first, he thought he must have been mistaken, but then he suddenly noticed a shopping bag on a park bench. Dimitri couldn't believe his eyes when he saw that a newborn baby was in the bag. He became seriously concerned about the baby since it was freezing cold, so he picked it up and rushed straight to the hospital. Upon arriving at the hospital, a doctor was already waiting for him, who immediately took the baby into one of the emergency rooms. The doctor didn't want to waste any time, as the baby was most likely already severely hypothermic, which can quickly lead to death in newborns. But the moment the doctor took the baby out of the shopping bag and examined it more closely, he immediately realized why the mother had abandoned it. You'll never believe what the doctor discovered about the baby. Click the plus for part 2.
Everybody feels that way. This ain't right. Yeah.
You ride the lightning on this one.
Yeah.
You can't say I'd rather know. You can put it on the porch, put it in the supermarket, took it to the police station. You put it way back there in there. You wanted that baby to die.
At the hospital, medical staff continue attending to the child's wounds. However, they're still in absolute shock due to the incomprehensible situation at hand. But the suspect can only stay hidden for so long, and the truth is just moments away.
And was this a plastic garbage bag, paper bag?
That's what I was told. It was a plastic garbage
I mean,
bag.
obviously it wasn't closed, or she didn't be. God, what kind of monster would do this?
During this time, an officer makes a baffling discovery when he locates Harriet's Facebook account. On it is a shocking and disturbing post.
That's not, was that her?
But it's 12:30 a.m. That's yesterday, just after midnight.
Right. So she could have just posted it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Puts a smile on his face.
Yeah, there you go. Try Sabrina.
In a horrific revelation, authorities learned that Harriet had supposedly posted a picture of her own child just one day prior. That child would turn out to be 8-month-old Sabrina Hoyt, the baby who was seemingly left for dead. However, what makes this all the more disturbing is the fact that Harriet uploaded the picture while Sabrina was inside of a plastic bag, all alone, nowhere near her mother. It seems like the teenager may have done this in an attempt to throw off suspicion, but it only goes to show her cruel and callous nature. Eventually, authorities were able to track down the 17-year-old mother, who quickly made a horrifying confession. She told investigators that she'd asked her stepmother to drive her and Sabrina from Sayre, Pennsylvania to Elmira, New York, in order to visit Jody on August 5, 2017. She further states that she informed her stepmother that Jody had reportedly left the back door open for Harriet and Sabrina to enter the home. However, this is a bold-faced lie. Once the teenager and her daughter were at the house, they sat on the back porch before Harriet made a phone call to her friend, Alexis Shadow, but the conversation supposedly turned volatile, in which Harriet became upset. In her police statement, she confessed, "I was already stressed and depressed prior to this, and this argument did not help me. I think I snapped and I didn't want to do anything physically to harm Sabrina because of my anger. I decided that I needed some time away from Sabrina, so I decided to walk away from her. Before I left, I decided that I wanted for Sabrina to be safe, so I placed her into a garbage bag so she wouldn't get cold or rained on. I then took the bag with Sabrina in it and placed it over near some bushes in the backyard area. I stayed with Jody throughout the weekend, and I never told anyone what I did to Sabrina. Apparently, she left Sabrina between the hours of 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. In addition, Harriet states that she informed people that Sabrina's father was taking care of the child for a couple of days. But the heartbreaking truth remains that Harriet heartlessly abandoned her child. The 17-year-old mother was taken into custody and charged with attempted murder in the second degree. Thankfully, Sabrina would make it out alive 5 of the unthinkable horror. In December of 2017, Harriet pleaded guilty to attempted murder in the second degree and was later sentenced in February 2018 to 9 years in prison, in addition to 5 years of post-release supervision. If she'd gone to trial, Harriet could have been facing up to 25 years in prison had she been found guilty.
What kind of shit is going on out here?
She was sitting outside, it was moving. We didn't know what it was.
Where on earth did you find the child?
Right in the back of the house over here.
That's right, yeah.
It's right
They
here.
told actually.
She was really nasty, pissy.
How long it's been since
she had
Still got stuff on her head, too.
Yeah,
It's all right.
At least 2 days.
We opened the bag, I seen that head, so I ran over there, like, a baby was in there?
It's one of the most horrendous crimes that the state of New York has ever encountered. An 8-month-old baby is found inside of a plastic grocery bag behind a house in an Elmira neighborhood. Although police would be shocked to learn that she has miraculously survived, in this never-before-seen footage, authorities will discover the unimaginable horror that was forced upon the innocent child, along with the sadistic monster who would commit the unthinkable. The summer heat is beginning to creep in on August 8, 2017, when Elmira authorities respond to the horrifying 911 call. A baby has been found all alone.
A baby in a bag, yo. What kind of shit is going on out here?
We found her over here, excuse me.
Yeah.
Can I wrap in the towel?
Yeah. The baby breathing? Yeah.
She's very hungry though.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have children of my own.
No. Thank you for your help. Thank you.
I know. Hold on. She's hungry and she's pale.
Very pale.
Yeah, she's so pale. I got her eyes to open and her closed.
You did. They were closed.
Yeah, and I got them open.
Thank you.
Honey, I have kids of my own. Sorry, but it's...
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys did the right thing. Thank you.
You guys saved that kid's life.
Yes, we did. I'm shaking. I never had seen this before in my life. A precious baby.
Yeah,
Look
absolutely.
what we found.
So when did this all just happen? Just now, huh?
Just now.
It just started like 15,
We didn't know what it was.
10
We didn't know
minutes
if it was
ago.
that dog.
Would you be able to show me exactly where you
Yes.
found the baby?
Yeah.
The woman leads the officer outside, where she discloses a most heartbreaking revelation.
Ooh, no, right over there.
Right here?
Right? Maybe if I could... Okay, see it?
Yeah.
That's just how fully been advised of that.
Right here.
I'm talking about early
You can smell the in the piss. You
That's
smell
right,
it?
yeah.
It's right
They
here.
were told
She's sitting right
actually.
Right here in this area.
She's really nasty, pissy.
It's been since
She had...
Still got stuff on her head, too.
Yeah.
It's all right.
At least
Yo,
2 days.
let me talk with the officer.
Go back.
All right?
I don't want nobody thinking we stole a child and then I just found
No.
You did the right thing. We went out and checked.
I heard it for 2 days.
How you heard the baby for 2 days in
I
the
didn't hear
bag?
the baby at all.
No, I didn't hear it in the bag. I just heard it cry. I was around the corner.
See, that baby be dead by now. It was in the bag for 2 days.
The ambulance gonna find it. The ambulance gonna figure it out.
That's crazy. Somebody want to do that.
That's scary, man.
Poison ivy or something.
Right her face, right?
Yeah, right. Or one eye looks
Yeah, like
in
did
her
she
whole eye.
get hit or something, or what?
It looked almost like a rash, and the rash swelled up the eye. When she was working on her, I could see it all down her chest. So you actually had heard this noise for about 2 days' time?
Many of the residents believed the crying sounds to be that of a baby inside of someone's home, while others thought it to be an animal. However, the horrific truth is that someone had callously abandoned the child outside. But investigators aren't too far off of the monster's trail, where every twisted secret will inevitably come to light.
And it's only in the morning you could hear it. And I didn't think nothing of it because you hear babies cry all the time.
Okay. Was there something that stuck out about this?
It just the same kind of cry at the same time for 2 mornings in a row. So
2 mornings in a row? Yesterday morning and then this morning?
No, yesterday morning. Well, today would be the 3rd day.
It's an utter miracle that the child has survived after being abandoned for 3 days. Clearly, she would have suffered a different fate had she not been rescued when she was.
So you were up on the porch?
Yeah, we was right there. I was with them.
Okay.
Watching. They like, yo, you see that over there? I'm thinking it's just a bag of garbage. They said it's moving. I'm like, it's not moving. They thought it was a dog.
He opened the bag, I seen that head, so I ran over there, like, a baby was in there?
I see the leg.
You seen the leg?
The baby is quickly rushed to the hospital. It's a heartbreaking scene to watch as medical staff do everything in their power to help the little girl, who is fighting for her very life.
No fight. No fight at all. She's just laying there. Asleep or I don't know. Yeah, one there looks like it's swollen shut. He says he's talked to a guy down there that said he was hearing
off and on, the baby crying for 2 days. So it very well could have been out there for that long. I mean, I don't know.
Pigs told it, she was covered with bugs.
Yeah.
Feces and
well, that's what scared me.
Feces and everything else. So.
Back at the house, officers continue talking to the horrified residents of the neighborhood, hoping to uncover any bits of information as to who might have committed such an evil crime. Soon, they're met with a shocking discovery.
We was staying there. Her name is Harriet. She just had a baby a few months ago. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. I'm not really sure.
Harriet?
Yeah, her name is Harriet.
You know her last name?
Authorities now have somewhat of a lead. However, there isn't too much to go on yet. But that will quickly change when someone else makes their way onto the scene.
Did they tell you why?
My daughter told him that they found a little girl in the backyard. And so I said, "He killed her."
Yes. We need to find out who the baby is, who the parents are.
This is Shirley, the owner of the house where the baby was heartlessly abandoned. She tells investigators that her daughter, Jody Forrest, currently lives in the home. However, Shirley also explains that a Daniel Forrest also resided in the house at one point, although it's unclear if he and Jody are separated or divorced. Nonetheless, this will go on to play a large role in tracking down the sadistic culprit. With the little information they have, police eventually discover their lead suspect to be 17-year-old Harriet Hoyt. The teenager is from Sayre, Pennsylvania, but investigators are now wondering if she may have taken a trip to Elmira, New York, with the most sinister agenda in mind.
Malnourished. Yeah, she's in dehydrated, toned in a bottle of Infamil right now, but they're still cleaning maggots out of her eyes. Still. That's right.
They found him. Because
Yeah.
he did this.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh, you guys gonna get him?
Yeah, everybody feels that way. This ain't right. Yeah.
You ride the lightning on this one.
Yeah.
You can't say I'd rather know. You can put it on the porch, put it in the supermarket, take it to the release station. You put it way back there in there. You wanted that baby to die.
At the hospital, medical staff continue attending to the child's wounds. However, they're still in absolute shock due to the incomprehensible situation at hand. But the suspect can only stay hidden for so long, and the truth is just moments away.
And was this a plastic garbage bag, paper bag?
That's what I was told. It was a plastic garbage
I mean,
bag.
obviously it wasn't closed, or she wouldn't be. What kind of monster would do this?
During this time, an officer makes a baffling discovery when he locates Harriet's Facebook account. On it is a shocking and disturbing post.
That's not, was that her?
But it's 12:30 a.m. That's yesterday, just after midnight.
Right. But she could have just posted it on
Yeah.
Yeah. Puts a smile on his face.
Yeah, there you go. Try Sabrina.
In a horrific revelation, authorities learned that Harriet had supposedly posted a picture of her own child just 1 day prior. That child would turn out to be 8-month-old Sabrina Hoyt, the baby who was seemingly left for dead. However, what makes this all the more disturbing is the fact that Harriet uploaded the picture while Sabrina was inside of a plastic bag, all alone, nowhere near her mother. It seems like the teenager may have done this in an attempt to throw off suspicion, but it only goes to show her cruel and callous nature. Eventually, authorities were able to track down the 17-year-old mother, who quickly made a horrifying confession.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. He came out at me and I didn't know what to do.
A New Mexico teen has been released from jail after she was charged with the death of her newborn baby. Back in January, 19-year-old Alexi Treviso went to the ER for back pain, but it turns out she was pregnant and in labor.
How big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? Nothing was crying.
Treviso allegedly locked herself in a bathroom where she gave birth to a baby boy and put him in the trash.
You put it in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah. And what bag?
An autopsy ruled the baby's death a homicide, and Treviso was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. But a judge has ruled that Treviso can be released so she can finish out the school year.
All right. As you saw, video after video, some of the outcomes were near-death experiences for the babies, but thank God they were found. And the EMTs and the residents or the neighbors that found the babies were able to, give them nourishment and change them and get them warm until the authorities got there. Like I said, it's a silent epidemic among young women. They're abandoning these babies illegally, even though there are the baby boxes and places to leave the children. Some of them maybe not thinking at the time, or they may feel like they may have to face someone if they leave them at the McDonald's or places. They still may feel unsafe or afraid or whatever their reasoning is. This is so sad. I've heard it was so many that I could have chosen, but I tried to choose some that will jar us, to get us to wake up to see like, hey, we really do need to do something. We need to contact our lawmakers, our city councils or whatever, to try to help our communities with this silent epidemic of the abandoning of babies. The foster care system and Department of Social Services or DFS or whatever your Department of Health and Human Services is called in your area are overflowing with abandoning children, especially since the pandemic. It's like there's abundance of children that need homes, not just newborns. And this is some things that I never hear our councilmen or our senators or people that we elect, even our presidents, I never hear them talk about this silent epidemic about the abandonment of children and what we can do in our communities to help these young women to the betterment of themselves. Okay. And anyway, it's a sad situation. I hope that this open your eyes up, to things that we do need to think about until it happens to us or one of our nieces or granddaughters or daughters or something like that. Okay, guys, just something to think about, something to pray about as well. If you like this content, again, please like, share, comment down below. What do you think we can do about this epidemic? Ring that notification bell so you know every time I drop a message video. Again, Happy New Year. I love you all. Until next time, smooches.